We are back at Jennifer's house to view the pond that they finished in a day. But I wimped out, I have to admit. We have come back a few days later because the weather was a bit chilly, and so was I. And Dusty, tell us what you did to finish this pond.
So basically, even though you were cold, we had to keep on working. So we worked until about 6 o'clock that night. It got colder, actually. It's hard to believe. What we did is we just put it all together, mixed in the cobble and the riprap and the 1.5 inches. We took the piece of the concrete from the sidewalk, actually removed it, put our stream underneath, and we put the sidewalk back. So now it looks like the water feature was always here, and then we built the sidewalk coming over it. As you see, there's some nice drops. It's really nice, it sounds good. And when people walk up to their house, they actually have to cross the stream to go up to the front door, and they get that nice little Rocky Mountain stream.
You know, this is absolutely gorgeous. I've talked to Jennifer, and she's in love with it. So thanks for joining us on Get the Dirt. This is the pond that we built in a day. And I'm back with Dusty, and we're visiting some other houses of some beautiful ponds that you've built. I think probably this one, what I enjoy the most is the cascading effect.
Yeah, our whole goal here was to actually build a water feature, looking like it's always been here, and you built the house around it. What's nice, it makes it easy for this, is you have the natural elevation already. So obviously we build the water feature first, and then what we do after that is we do the landscape and make it look like it's always been there by even putting boulders into our edging, and not just putting boulders right in one spot, but actually putting boulders throughout the whole landscape. But definitely the cascading really gives you some nice sound. It's amazing looking at it. In fact, you have somebody even driving by right now that's staring at it too. So this is one of my favorite water features. We just finished just a couple weeks ago.
Well, and now part of the big expense of this is that I don't know that people realize sometimes is the size of these boulders. I mean, that is not easy to move.
Mm-hmm. Right. Some of these rocks are about a ton. You definitely have to have equipment. Now this is a lot different from the water feature we're building, you know, the small little pondless pond. You know, those are small boulders. Definitely couldn't move these without equipment, excavators, skid loaders. This is not a project that any particular homeowners should try to take on. You definitely want to have an expert or someone who really knows what they're doing on this type of water feature.
Well, and the other thing that I've noticed the way you build ponds is your natural eye and your crew's natural eye and ability to look at a water feature and make sure that the rocks actually fit the locations to get the effect you're after.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want round circles. I want everything free, you know, just very, very natural. Look like it just rolled out of the mountains and it just had water come out of it. In fact, even here, the artesian, the water's just coming out of the water or out of the ground and it's just spilling over the boulders.
So, and this is exactly what the homeowner was after then?
You know, most homeowners just say they want a water feature and they're just like, you know what, Dusty, we trust you. You guys know what you're doing, and that's what we do. We just go and build some awesome. And I like to have the homeowner involved a little bit, but I like it a lot more when they just let me do my thing, because I guarantee it's going to look awesome. You want to see another one?
I do. It's right down the street.
Yeah.
So this water feature, I'm finding there's even some things here that are more unique than up above, and one of them is this bridge.
Yeah, what we did here is I believe that water features are not just to be looking at. You actually want to be able to use it almost like part of your living space of your home. So what we did here is we poured the concrete and then we stopped so I can build my water feature through it, and then we built the bridge afterwards. It's kind of like what we're doing over with the dry pond or the pondless pond that we're building over on the next street over right now.
Well, and then what's kind of nice is the sidewalk ends, but then a different kind of path begins.
Yeah, these are called Xylem stones. We like to use these a lot in our landscapes because they're really natural, but they're very useful to be able to have you a nice little path going through your landscape. Another thing too, as you see now, we're actually going to walk through the water feature, which is really unique. A lot of people don't do this with their water features, but I think it's amazing. So you have the drops and then you just kind of walk right through the water.
Well, and you've got two water features going on here.
Yeah, what our illusion was, I wanted it to look like a big waterfall from the street. This is a sales house, a model home that sells houses. So we obviously wanted to attract a lot of attention up here. I did the sod because this is a golf course community. I wanted the sod to look like it's a golf course, and the water feature is the main feature, so it's pulling everybody's eye right up to the house.
Well, and the house, what's spectacular about it is the environment you've created with all of these steps and the walkway through here. So as you look at it, you've really created an outdoor entertainment area.
Yeah, you can definitely sit on any of these rocks. You know, they're all moss rock, they're all natural. We bring in tons of rocks every week. They're all different, but yet the rocks are really important in the water feature because that's what makes it look like it's always been there. If you just use small rocks, it's just not going to work.
Well, it creates a little bit more of an individuality between each pond feature.
Exactly. And another thing too, you notice that we still use the riprap, the cobble, the 1.5 inches, the moss rock, and you kind of just make it look like just rolled in place. I keep saying that, but that's really all there is to it. It's very simple, but you have to do, there's certain things you have to do to make to be able to get the sound that we have on this particular water feature.
Well, this looks great. Thanks for showing us this additional pond. And now we're going out to see our garden of the week. Welcome to Get the Dirt's Garden Jargon of the Week. We've been talking about ponds and waterfalls, so it only seems appropriate that we talk about marginal plants.
And that doesn't mean marginally hardy plants. That means marginals are plants that actually grow in the water around the margin of the pond. And they can be utilized to help soften the edges and soften the harsh boulders and rocks and make the whole pond look much more natural. You'll find these plants in your garden centers in their water garden department. There'll be tropical varieties, which you have to take in for the winter, and there'll be hardy varieties, which you can leave out for the winter. And they'll be in nice little pots, and you can just sink them in the pond right around the edges where you want to soften some things and pretty stuff up. And make sure that the pot is just a few inches below the water level. Not real deep, just a few inches. And they'll thrive there for the rest of the year.
For all of our garden jargon, make sure to visit us at getthedirtcolorado.com.